Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to How to Live in the Present, Swami Anubhavananda. I said that pretty good actually. Anyways, this is something that is it Eckhart? No, it's oh god, haven't heard his name in a little bit. Anyways, it was this one English person. He was very difficult for me to understand him. He keeps talking about the dimension person, I believe it was. Something along those lines. I haven't reacted to his videos in a long time because they get kind of taken down. So it's like, what's the point if I do it and it gets taken down? You know. Anyways, but he talks about. I think I started to understand him a little bit later on. But the dimension person, I can't. Don't quote me on that. But it's more along the lines of the person living in the now, and that's something that he teaches. It's not Eckhart. It is Eckhart actually. It is Eckhart. Rupert's the other person. Okay, Eckhart. Yes, he talks about kind of living in the now, at least from the few videos that I have of his. And anyways, I've been curious as to how do you live in the now and the present? Obviously, that means not thinking of the past or the future, but you kind of have to think about the past and the future. But perhaps as a balance or understanding of what is in the past is in the past, what is the future is not set in stone like the past is. And none of those affect you today in the present. Understand what in the present and the now is always going to be, and it's always true. The future is not true. The past is, well, it's in the past. It already happened. It's true. You can't change it. Future, there's infinite possibilities. What you think of now about what may happen in the future may not happen that way, may happen that way. 99.9999% of the time it's not going to happen like you think it's going to happen. At least not precisely. But what happens now is what you're going to live by. Think of the future, sure, but what now is what matters. Maybe something along those lines. Let's go and get started.
Can't we keep our mouth shut? See, friends, this is one of the most powerful spiritual practice to remain in the present. But anything we see, we have some reference. Yes, when we went there, who asked you? Another Mahamantra, who asked you? Many times we tell the things which nobody wants to know about us. We only tell. Therefore, one of the most potent spiritual practice is don't talk about yourself to anybody on any theme.
Sorry. What if they ask, curious about your past? It's a way of understanding how you became who you are today, in terms of the material you, obviously. But, I mean, I get what it's saying. Sometimes people talk too much. And maybe you give out a little bit too much information that may scare off people in many different ways. But because they don't know you yet, maybe? I don't think he's talking about that, but that what I just talked about is something that happens quite a lot, where he's like, oh my gosh, you don't understand the person and they explain a little bit too much, but had you taken it slower, they would have probably understood you.
Observe this. Whenever we talk to others, we talk about our past or their past. You know this alumni association? They are an aluminium association. When we were there in the college, do you remember, we used to go there, and that chai wala, where he has gone now? I think everything has changed so much. All rubbish. See, friends, whenever we talk to others, past is the reference. We don't remain in the present. Now, second thing, whenever we talk to ourselves, we talk about the future. After satsang is over, I think I'll go home, change myself, and we'll go for a nice movie. I think that Avatar is being screened from today onwards. I'll go and see in the theater. Seeing on the TV is useless. I don't know. So, when we talk to ourselves, we go in the future. When we talk to others, we go in the past. And the vehicle is the speech, the words. Now give it a try. First, don't talk to yourself. Begin with 1 minute. This is all.
I was going to say, you have to think of the future a little bit, only because, like, say, if you're thirsty, like, I want a drink of water, and then you go do it. That drinking that water is not now. Maybe I'm thinking a little too much into that, but like it's like, what time should I go to bed? You're thinking of the moment now, but the plans are for the future. Is that thinking too much into the future? Should you not think about when you should go to bed, but instead when your body gets sleepy? Well, I mean, let him finish. Thinking too much right now, I guess.
After we become perfect in that, increase your stamina. Make it 2 minutes.
Not talking to yourself for 2 minutes.
Whether you see here and there, whether you are moving, doesn't make any difference. You are not talking to yourself.
Sorry I'm pausing so much, but it does make me think a little bit. I think about how I do mine. For me, I know sometimes my brain just thinks about a lot of things, but I don't necessarily answer all the time. I'm just aware of my thoughts. Now, I don't know if I'm aware like how you're supposed to be aware, like you are separate from your thoughts. And I just don't fight it. I guess that's the main thing. I don't know if that means I'm separated from it or not, but I just don't fight it. If it happens, it happens. If I'm trying to fight my thoughts, I'm actively trying to do something to my thoughts, as opposed to just being aware of it. If it happens, it happens. I'll walk down the hallway, I see the color blue, I think of something blue, the sky. I don't sit there and say, no, don't think about the sky, don't think about the sky, don't think about blue, don't think about blue. I'm active, I'm being very active in my mind. Whereas I see something blue, my mind says sky, I'm like, okay, just keep on going. That's how I'm mostly. I don't try to control it, I don't try to stay silent. If it happens, it happens. If I think about something, I think about something.
This is called as unused atrophy. Your term. When any organ is not used for a long period of time, atrophy sets in. Same thing with the mind. See, I am not in your profession, but how I learned. Earlier, I used to do all the writing by hand, books, one after another, thousands of pages I must have written. Then the PC came in my hand, then laptop came. Naturally, it went on, and it has become so much that if I had to sign two places my signature, there are two different signatures. I can't sign the same way because unused atrophy. It doesn't function the same way. If this principle is clear, exactly, make your mind atrophied. You know why many of the sincere seekers sleep in the satsanga? Because only one reason. We have learned that when the mind is quiet, go to sleep. Mind is quiet but not sleepy. Three qualities of a mind: quiet, alert, and vigilant. Quiet. Alert means what? What is happening around is we are completely aware, but we are not reacting. Alert. And vigilant, remaining aware that am I reacting to create impressions on my mind or what? Vigilant. So interact in the world, but see that no good or bad impressions are created on the mind. So the first part is, let us increase our stamina not to talk to ourselves. Now to substantiate this, add one more thing. Don't talk to yourself and listen to silence. But silence cannot be heard. Ears can hear only the sounds. So how can you listen to silence? Work on it. Then we come to know that listening to silence means not getting disturbed by sounds. Net result, mind is stopped without going to sleep. This freedom from thought formation is living in the present.
Okay, that was ended a lot sooner than I thought. Oh wow, there's a lot of... Okay. Washington, D.C. March campus full. Let's see about Washington. Police retreat. I wish you'd give the years though. Okay. So, I will say... Silent mind. At this point, I assume you're actually kind of practicing Raja Yoga to a degree. I guess that would be helpful, honestly. And actually Karma Yoga as well. I think. Well, not necessarily, because I think now I start understanding Karma Yoga is physical actions, and your thoughts, your active thoughts. And I was wondering that when I was driving home today, that I wonder if that's maybe my thing, is physical action thoughts, because that seems to be the more practical thing in terms of Western mindset. Like, we obviously... I think a lot of people, just not Westerners, also, but it's something that maybe they can understand a lot better. Is the fact that when we can start seeing that our actions and our thoughts are not us, to a degree, in a scientific degree, I think they can start to understand a lot of at least Karma Yoga. But anyways, silencing the thought, silencing the mind. It's really weird. It says, is it atrophy? Is it atrophy, or well, I forget what the word that he used, but that's not usually a good thing to do with your mind. But I think I understand what he's trying to say. It's basically so it's not actively, constantly thinking. The impressions part, I've heard that a few times, to have negative impressions in your mind. So you don't probably because you don't have, so you won't have predetermined thoughts, predetermined things already. If I'm thinking about that correctly. Silence your mind for 1 minute, then 2 minutes. It makes me wonder. I've never really thought about it. If throughout my day, as I work and do things, is my mind active? Me questioning that makes me think that my mind is not active, but I'm sure it is. I swear it is. And I know it is. I don't remember. I'm just wondering how much of my mind is active throughout the entirety of the day when I am doing my work. Obviously, I'm thinking about stuff like what I need to do. But outside of that, am I thinking about anything else? I'm sure I am. But I just don't remember it all because it's not something that I need to remember past what I need to remember it for. If I need to do this job, I think about it. I think about what I could do to fix it. I fix the job. I'm done. And that's it. I don't really remember it afterwards, necessarily. I could, maybe if someone brings it up, I could remember it. But other than that, I'm not actively remembering it. Or, like, if you ask me, like, right now, it's like, oh, what'd you do yesterday? It's like, I don't know. For the most part, I don't know. I mean, I know I went to work. I did some videos. Went to sleep, I'm sure. Ate some food, drank some drinks, breathed, and talked and thought. But I generally don't remember specifics too much unless I absolutely have to. But yeah, so silence the mind, alert, and oh man, what was the third one? Alert. Why can't I think of it?
Then we come to know that without going to sleep, formation.
Oh my gosh. Where was it at?
Substantiate this. Add one more thing. Don't.
The third one is like it was very similar in my mind to the second one being alert. Vigilant. There we go. Alert and vigilant. I've not used that word a lot. It's like vigilant is being alert because you're vigilant about things. But alert is to be aware, and vigilance is to make sure that your mind is not being impressed. What's the word? Not being affected by the things around you. But I don't see how you can.
Be aware.
No. It's quiet, but not
Three
sleepy.
qualities of a mind. Quiet.
I guess quiet in terms of you're not pre-thinking things or thinking about things or having impressions. Alert, being aware of your situation and your surrounding, and vigilant, making sure that what you're alert about is not putting impressions in your mind. I wish you would give it an example about it. Like you witness something, you see someone walking, and then, well, you don't have any impressions on that person's actions walking by you. Not good, not bad, nothing. That way you don't have a negative or positive impressions on that person and the actions he's doing. Then that person talks to you. You're aware of it. You're aware of his action. Now your vigilance is to make sure that whatever he says and does not put an impression in your mind. Would that be a correct example? That way throughout the entirety of your day, whatever he said or does not have an impression on your mind. Because when your mind's already silent, quiet, with no impressions. And 3, you're vigilant, making sure that your interactions with people or things have no impressions on your mind. And number 2, you're always alert of your surroundings, aware of your surroundings. Number 1 and number 3 are the ones I'm a bit more, curious about, because number 2, being alert or aware of your surroundings, it should be normal. Obviously, you should be aware of your surroundings for more than just the physical reasons. But being a quiet mind, meaning no impressions, I'm guessing number 1 is more about yourself and about your past. That your past self and your past impressions doesn't come up in the present. And then number 3 is more about the present impressions having no impression on your actions for today. Is that what he's trying to say? So number 1 is more about you and your past. Number 3 is more about your current situation and your surroundings. Your past have no impressions on you, and your present situation have no impression on you. That way you're always in a state of mind of having no impressions. Is that correct? Is that what he's trying to say? And number 2 is just, I think that should always be a thing anyway, to always be alert and aware of your surroundings. Otherwise you'll trip on something, or someone will catch you off guard. Or I don't know how alert would have any kind of impressions on your mind, considering that's number 3 already. Number 3 is taking care of that. So just being alert is more along the lines of a physical thing, I suppose. Let's hear that again.
Alert and vigilant. Quiet. Alert means what? What is happening around is we are completely aware, but we are not reacting. Alert. And vigilant, remaining aware that am I reacting to create impressions on my mind or what? Vigilant. So interact in the world. The sincere seekers sleep in the satsanga because only one reason. We have learned that when the mind is quiet, go to sleep. Mind is quiet but not sleepy.
That's what I think. How I'm interpreting what he's saying about the quiet mind, as in, again, because even if you're sitting in a room by yourself, your mind will still be active, thinking, using your past to think of the future, in a sense. Oh, I'm going to go out tomorrow. What am I going to wear? Oh, I ate 5 hours ago. I'm starting to become hungry. What should I eat? Oh, I'm about to... Well, I don't know what else is there to do. Anyways, your quiet mind, because your mind always thinks of the past, generally speaking. Although I know he said that generally when you talk to other people, you talk about their past, and when you think for yourself, you think about the future. But when you go talk to people, generally speaking, you'll be, again, thinking of the past, about your situation, how it could apply to the scenario that you're in. So, and also, even before meeting anyone or doing anything, you'll have your past impressions coming to you, so you don't want to have that when you're in the current situation. And then number 3, I assume, is the current situation, more of the surroundings and the people that you're about to interact, and make sure that whatever they do or your environment does doesn't have a negative impression on you. So your number 1, being quiet mind, is quieting your own personal impressions to the world, and number 3 being making sure that the world's impressions on you are not there, are not affecting you. 2 is just being aware. Let me know. Am I wrong? Am I right? That's how I perceive what he has said. Anyways, that's my reaction to how to live in the present, though. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.